Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, though probably mostly gentlemen. Welcome back to Carbon Racing Series. The, I guess we could call it premiere? Actually, no, it's not the premiere series, is it? No, that would go to F1 Esports, I suppose. Eh. But, what am I saying? At least this league has had its moments. And, ooh, don't hit that. Yes, this league has definitely had its moments. Some good, some bad. And currently, we're reeling from the disappearance of Colin Hogenberg, the league's founder. He just stopped replying to anyone, and he just then upped and left the server again. So, who knows if he'll come back? Maybe, maybe not. Anyway, this week. Shush phone. This week we are racing in, as you can see, Mexico, a track that has two good sectors and, well, actually, is it two good sectors? I suppose it's more like one and a half good sectors, at least as far as I'm concerned. I find the second sector rather hit or miss. It's yeah, it's not a particularly fun one for me. And the final sector is mostly good, except for I think it's turn 15, the really sharp left-hander in the stadium section. In fact, the stadium section as a whole is not my favourite part of the track. So, yeah, bit of a hit and miss track for me. But for everyone else, who knows? In the championship standings, let me just pull them up on my phone. Yes, yes. Hello. Where are the standings? That's registrations. Oops. Hello, standings. There we go. In the championship standings, Fakeaways leads in at yeah. Faco leads the championship standings at 188 points. In second place, it's Lennart with 186 points. So 2 points separate them. The next nearest championship challenger is Ivan Hafterkamp with 165 points. He didn't have the best race in Singapore in Singapore or the USA. He was more of a damage control really, and he's got some work to do if he wants to try and win the championship. But so far he's only had a single race victory, and with only a few rounds left in the championship, who knows? Things could still go his way. You never know. Right. What was I gonna do? Oh yes, I need to quickly. Yes. So I'm going to quickly go and make myself some squash because otherwise I'm going to have a very dry mouth. So, yes. The race isn't due to start for another minute or so. Actually, it's supposed to be starting right now, but well, we'll see. Yeah, I shouldn't be that long. So, see you in 2 minutes tops. And my phone fell off the fucking. Why did it do that? It was nowhere near. Oh, and everyone's readying up. Great. Right. And just in time for the beginning of qualifying. And, oh, just in time to watch someone coming out of the pits, too. Right. That's a train of cars if I saw one. We've got dry qualifying. Oh, phone has messed things up. Come on here. Come on, phone. Right. No more tangled cables. Mostly. Track map. The first car out on track was actually the Williams of Formula Cringe, I think. Unless it was someone else. No, it was Simon, the new reserve driver. Have to see what he's capable of. Car number 81. Want the telemetry? Not the telemetry. We want the lap data. Everyone out on softs. Just a bit of an overcast qualifying session here. Behind him is Ben Dixon, but I think, yes, Ben Dixon, and the other Ferrari is being driven by another reserve driver, Jacob, or Jacob. I'm going to call him Jacob, even though it's, because it's my mother tongue. Probably wrong to call him Jacob, but, yeah. Jacob, whatever. We've also got in the second Alpine, replacing Sam this weekend, is Bactery Bottas. Back to the future? No? Okay. Simon is 28.5 in Sector 1, whereas Ben Dixon was 28.4. So, Simon potentially on for a decent time here. He will be setting the benchmark, after all. Sector 2 is completed in 56.4. There's Ben Dixon, 56.3. Oh, we've got a yellow flag in Sector 2. Possibly someone going off the track. Someone going around the final corner now. Getting a bit of wheel spin by the looks of things. Over the line, 115.7 is the benchmark. Ben Dixon immediately goes 0.3 faster. Shortly followed by Ivan, who goes 115.6. Dirk, also 115.6, but 200ths down. Julian has also gone at 115.9, slowest time so far. Leonard, 115.5. Faco goes even faster, as well as Pookie, 115.4 for each. Though Faco is that's 7. What's the word? 35 hundredths or whatever. I'm hearing crackling, so I've got to change the audio settings to low. Yeah, I think that's what's going on. Apparently, I don't meet minimum requirements, even though I've got a processor that's better than the so-called minimum. So, I don't get that. Right, Demboomer coming through is a 56.6 in Sector 2. Going around through the stadium section. He's got his teammate Julian right behind him. Oh, it's actually raining. That might have been the sound I was hearing. So it is, everyone's going out to try and get a fast time in. Demboomer actually goes 10th, 116.1, and these times are getting slower. And Laxer is at the most risk here with only a 1 minute 20.4 slowest time. He's coming straight into the pits. And yeah, it's looking like Kane is having a very torrid time through the stadium section here, and I don't think he's going to be able to get a representative lap time out. And Kane, who has is a very quick driver, looks like, he's going to be knocked out here. 118.8 is the best he can do in these conditions, and he's going to be knocked out. There's no way he can go faster on inters. So Kane, who started on the front row in the USA, and I think started very high up the field in Singapore as well, will not even get out of Q1, I think. In fact, no, he may actually get through, I think. I keep forgetting, it's not the number place. 15th place will get through, so that's my mistake. Kane will get through. Everyone's saying go Tiffy. I don't know if you heard about that. Latifi isn't in multiplayer, and Laxer has retired as he knows that he can't get out of Q. He can't get into Q2 with inters. He's lost his chance here. A poor first lap has ended his chances here. And Jakob is on an outlap on the soft tyres, and I think he's just taking an exploratory lap here. But Jakob, who did not get a lap time in when the track was still dry, he's he's not gonna get a good lap time in. And you can see it, the car is just aquaplaning everywhere. Slick tyres, not exactly very good in the wet. There appears to be a couple of drivers out on inters. Yep, Leonard and Faco, as well as Ivan, who has the fastest lap time of the session. He's on pit. He's coming out of the pits, actually, I think. Possibly. Must be. Yes. So, Ivan, Faco, and Leonard just testing the waters, quite literally, I suppose. Probably trying to get some wet weather driving in. I don't know what the weather's going to be like for the race, though, so I have no idea if these guys are driving with wet setups or dry setups. Though, given the speeds, I'm saying it's going to be a dry race. If anyone could confirm that for me. I know that Pookie tends to watch. If someone could tell me what the weather's going to be like for the race. Ow. Why did I say ow? It didn't even hurt. It was just... Right. As this is going to be a rather uneventful session. At least I think so. As every time from here on out is not going to be really setting any fast lap. It's not going to be setting the leaderboards on fire, that's for sure. So, I actually brought up some dinner. It's not much. It's just a salad. As you know, Alfie. Race dry, Q2 and Q3 will be wet after some time, like Q1. Right. You see, it's useful to have for the spectator to have weather information. Do you hear that, Cody's? I'd like some more information if I'm going to be spectating more. Who knows, maybe F1 2022 will be amazing. It'll be the best racing game since Need for Speed Most Wanted. Actually, Need for Speed Most Wanted is like worlds apart from F1 2021 or whatever. But hey, I'm a Need for Speed fanboy. What can I say? I'm also talking about the original 2005 Most Wanted, not the rubbish 2012 Most Wanted. That was like seriously the beginning of the end for the Need for Speed franchise, which is sad. Jakob sets a 31-1 first sector. This, as I said, it's not going to set the timing sheets on fire. It's actually going to be fairly sedate compared to a dry time. Forgive me, I'm about to reset my microphone to a different location on my desk. That should help a little bit. I need to eat, and unfortunately, there's only one place my microphone can go, and that's on my desk. I tried attaching it to a shelving unit. Oh, and Jakob has invalidated his lap time here. But yeah, it's not going to be a great lap time. He's already slower than Laxer was on a rather slow dry lap. 126.7. Yeah, Jakob's getting knocked out. Yeah, where was I? Oh yeah, I can't put my microphone anywhere else because it seems that the stand is not the highest quality. I will admit, it's not something made by Rode or whatever. It's fairly cheap, and so I tried attaching it to my shelving unit, and the moment I extended the microphone, it just flopped down. It doesn't. Yeah, the securing mechanism is just a screw, and it's, yeah, even as tight as the screw will go, there's a bit of play in the arm, so just gotta live with it. Controller, please don't do that. Well, it hasn't invalidated yet. Maybe he won't invalidate at all for the rest of this session. We've got a yellow flag. That is Battery Bottas, who's spun on the outside of the turn there. Jakob will set a lap time here, 126.4. Without a doubt, the slowest time of the session. And Ivan is 5 seconds down in Sector 2. 15 seconds... No, that was in Sector 1. 15 seconds down in Sector 2. Yeah, it's... You're not going to be going very fast in these sessions. In the wet, even, is what I meant to say. Clearly, I haven't been watered today, and I'm not thinking straight. Right. Yeah. Yeah, understandably, a bunch of people have retired from the session. There's no real point in going out again. All the lap time is apparently going to be done in the first few minutes. And that's where the positions will be decided. Hmm. Apologies for the silence, I'm eating. There we go. So, the people knocked out of Q1, Jakob and Laxer, who are not able to get fast enough times, and Kane does get through by the skin of his teeth. Oh, he's about 1.5 seconds faster than Laxer. So, you know, there's that. I need to eat fast. Right. You too. Moments away. We're down from 17 drivers to 15. We're just waiting for Hyper to load, it would appear. I don't really like Twitch much. Simple as that. Right. First car out is going to be, looks like Dirk. Might well be. We got the lap data. Actually, is it Dirk or was it? Oh, look at that Mercedes coming to a dead stop. It wasn't Dirk, it was Lennart. Lennart was the first car out on track. carrying out the proud Aston Martin tradition of being first man on track. Looks like Q2 and Q3 are going to be completely wet. And the Aston Martin is sliding a little bit. Grip is practically non-existent. I mean, obviously, it's wet. Anyway, Leonard's coming through the stadium section, ready to begin his attempt at the fastest lap. We know that Leonard is not the best qualifier. At least he hasn't been qualifying too well recently. It seems that he's focusing more on race pace than qualifying pace. Or maybe he's just being caught out by the conditions. It does appear to me that he's not the greatest driver in the wet. That's just my observation anyway. Maybe he's really good. I mean, he's better than me, that's for sure. Oh no, he didn't. He didn't invalidate there. It looked like he was cutting very close. Looked like he went over the white line. Sector 1 completed in a 31.5. Is that Ivan behind him or Dan Edwin? It's Dan Edwin's on the inters. Let's look at the tyres actually. Sort of 50-50. Dan Edwin on the inters. 31.7. So it doesn't appear to be paying out too much for Dan Edwin here. Oh, and Leonard has invalidated. Oh, and there's a car gone round. That is Ivan Hafterkamp. Is there any damage done to the Red Bull? It does not appear to be so. Leonard's teammate passed. So that will be rather frustrating for the third place man of the championship. Meanwhile, Simon and Formula Cringe, one after the other here. The Inter's going to provide the benchmark here, 128.0, whereas Cringe goes 127.9. Dan Edwin Pookie goes 128.1. Dan Edwin's gone 128.6. I'm getting lost in the thingy-jigs here. Oh, there's been a spin. That is Den Boomer. Oh! If the cars weren't... If ghosting wasn't enabled, that would have been dreadful to watch. Den Boomer's lost his front wing. Kane... Oh! Kane has crashed! Kane has crashed! And Julian's gone round as well. So, I think, yeah, Kane has definitely crashed. So he set the fastest lap time and he immediately crashed and lost it. So Kane is likely going to get knocked out here. Plenty of people have invalidated their lap times here. Currently, the first man who will set a lap time will be Leonard, as the car ahead of him is one of the Williams. So we'll see what Leonard can do on the wet tyres. It did appear that the wet tyres are the faster tyre to be on under these conditions, or maybe they're just changeable. Okay, Leonard's on a cool-down lap here, so who's next? It is Pookie on the Inters still. He's already 4/10ths up on his previous best. Improves, but only 2/10ths. There's a... Faco goes 4th on the wet tyres. And Ivan improves to 6th with a 128.4. So it could be that the Inters are the better tyre here. Dirk's gone 129.2 on the wets. Ben Dixon's invalidated again. And Battery Bottas is also invalidated. So at this rate, Kane would get through if the people behind him don't get a clean lap time in. Simon's still trying to improve his lap time, but he's and he's just invalidated it, so that's not going to count for much. And Leonard, he is going to improve his sector 2 without a doubt, because 140.2 is, yeah, that was a slow lap, a cool down lap. We've got a yellow flag. That's an Alpine going slow, probably to let the Red Bulls by. Or could have spun, I'm not certain. I think that's Faco. Ooh, a bit of a moment for Leonard there, who goes fastest, 127.7 exactly. The Red Bulls are next. We've got Ivan on the wets, Dan Edwin on the inters, as Ivan goes third with 127.8. Dan Edwin did not improve, he was on a cool-down lap. Dirk has invalidated. We've got both of the McLarens on outlaps on the wet tyres. Battery Bottas has once again invalidated. Ulipat's on an outlap. Hyper has not come out of the pits yet. I think he's having connection issues. So we'll ride with Den Boomer. I think his name is actually Dennis. Den Boomer's Sector 1 time is looking like it's going to be fairly slow. It's slower than Leonard's was, 31.7. Going through this section here. I don't know what it's called. The sort of double apex right-hander. Through Sector 2 now, the S's. Gotta be very careful with the car here, as you could spin. You don't want to spin here. So it's treacherous part of the track. 105.8 in Sector 2. Into the stadium section now. As Ivan goes fastest on the wet tyres, 127.631. And then Boomer keeping it together so far. Around the final corner. Past the pit lane. Easy on the brakes. It's not going to be setting the timing sheets on fire. Only 128.9. But it does put him above Kane and Ben Dixon. Julian, meanwhile, is also coming around the corner. And he goes across the line. Pushes his teammate below Kane? I think Kane is broken. Because Den Boomer is... No matter if you've crashed, you should automatically... Well, technically, Kane shouldn't have been knocked out, but... Yeah, Kane is, with the people setting times behind him, he should be below them. He should be behind Ulipat, but it hasn't worked for some reason. Who's next across the line? Not Leonard, he's pitting. Ivan, I think, is pitting too. No, he's going around for another attempt. We got... Oh, was that a car going around? No, it wasn't. We've got Faco. 128.105 was his lap there. It's an improvement by the looks of things, but it wasn't enough to move him up the field. Then Boomer going for another attempt as well. Julian on a cooldown lap, as I expect, is Ulipat, potentially. So 0.3 slower than his previous best, but this should be a fast flying lap attempt here from the Alfa Romeo. Right on board for now. Easily does it through turns 1, 2, and 3. The chicane. onto the second straight here. Down towards turn 4. 2/10 up on previous best. Into turn 5. Pookie goes fastest, 127.5. Turn 6. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Ivan retakes the fastest lap. I say almost provisional pole, isn't it? But it's not really provisional pole, is it? It's a Q2, so it's just an improvement. Through the stadium section, oh, he goes wide. He manages to keep his lap time because, you know, the game's weird. Should improve. Oh, has a bit of a moment. I think he clipped the sausage curb there. Through turn 17 and 18. The final pair of corners across the line. Improves by almost 4/10. But it's not enough to move him above Ben Dixon. And also, still not enough to move him above Kane for some reason. The game is truly bugged in that regard because Julian, Ben Dixon and Ulipat should be ahead of him. But the game's decided that as a consolation prize, Kane gets to finish, start 10th basically. That's not fair. Got a yellow flag. That's Julian going slowly. I don't think he hasn't improved his position, that's for sure. Really, Pat's having connection issues or something. Will Ivan be coming in? Yes, Ivan's coming in. Faco, meanwhile, has actually gone second fastest. In fact, I don't remember if I saw that. 127.3. It's a few hundredths behind Ivan. Leonard is also on a flying lap attempt. He's slightly up in Sector 1. Basically matches his previous best. What is Faco going to do? He's already aborted. He was 7/10 up. Actually, no, he wasn't. He was 7/10 up on his previous lap, I think. So, Leonard looking to improve. Not really sure there's much of a point. But, I don't know. Who's ahead of him? That's Simon. He's having a bit of a moment through the stadium section. What's he going to do? He's not going to come in. He's going to finish the lap. He's 2/10 down. Leonard is 3.5 up. So he's improving. Having a bit of wheel spin on the exit, and he goes fastest, 127.131. Meanwhile, Dan Edwin is behind on wet tyres. The wets are definitely the fastest tyre, it would appear. Ulipat did not learn that. He decided to stick it out on the inters. Dan Edwin is on his flying lap now, as is Dirk, I would think. Who else is that? That's Battery Bottas. No, that's Faco on a flying lap as well. Battery will get another attempt in here. Cringe gets round to start another flying lap, though Julian is not going to get another attempt. He's going to be knocked out here. So, by virtue of the game being stupid and not putting the people who've set time, not putting the person who's crashed below the, below the people who have actually set times and not crashed. Simon is next. He's finished. He's gone slightly faster, but not enough. Leonard has invalidated his lap time here, so he's going to come into the pits. What was that? Oh, Faco's spun round, so he won't improve his lap time, but it's not really necessary. Dan Edwin in the danger zone here. 2/10 up on his previous best. It should put him above Ben Dixon, who jumped him. Oh, and he spun round! And Dan Edwin threw it all away on the final turn. And he won't get into Q3 here. He should get into Q3, but the game is stupid and it won't let him. So he's going to have to start P11 here, because the game's decided that Kane gets a consolation prize. That really, really shouldn't happen. Factory Bottas, meanwhile, does go 8 tenths faster than his previous best, but does not improve his position. And Hyper is not even setting a lap time here, so I'm not certain what's going on with Hyper. But yeah, he'll cross the line. And it looks like he's still driving? I don't know. Oh, and look at that. He's not even wearing a helmet. He's car number 77. Yeah, Hyper's bugged. He's the game doesn't know whether to call him Bottas or Hyper. And it looks like he's still driving for me. So, and Battery was still driving too. So I think we've got a bit of a timing bug here. It's going to read 0 and Hyper's still going to be able to race around. I think it may have reset on his screen. Quite possibly. So he's going to be able to set a lap time here, even though he shouldn't be able to. Because he crossed the line when... Oh, there we go, he's retired. So maybe he's listening to the stream, I don't know. Possibly. Right. So, people who have been knocked out are Hyper, Ulipat, Battery, Bottas, Julian, Dan Edwin and Kane, though Dan Edwin should be in Q3, but as I said, the game has decided to give Kane the consolation prize of starting 10th, even though he should be, well, 14th by the game's reckoning. Game is stupid. It's robbed Dan Edwin of a top 10 start. I just... no words, really. No words. I'm going to try and finish my salad as quickly as I can. Instead, I want to Q3. There's only 9 drivers. There should be 10. Cody's, please fix. Like, imagine if it happened in esports. They'd fix it right away, surely. Not telemetry lap data, please. And everyone's going on inters again. Leonard, once again, first man out on track. everyone but Simon is out on track. And with any luck, Leonard will set the benchmark here. I think Leonard's trying to prove me wrong, as I think he was one of the faster drivers in Q2. Don't remember if he was first. On his flying lap now. Into turn 1, 2, goes over the sausage curb, and 3, down the straight to turn 4 now. Sector 1 was a 30.7. It's already better than Sector 2. Not Sector 2, Q2. Sector 2 is 103.025. Into the stadium section now. Then it has not invalidated. So this time will be the benchmark. Should be a 127, I think. A bit of a moment. On the exit of 17, 125.286 is the benchmark. Pookie immediately beats it with a 124.8. Ivan is a 125.3. Dirk invalidated, I think. Item is Cringe and Faco. Cringe is gonna run with Faco here. Cringe will go 4th, 127.56. Faco, 125.080. So already almost exactly 0.2 faster than Lennart. And Ben Dixon, slowest time so far, 126.1. Meanwhile, Den Boomer, 125.8. Overtakes Ben Dixon for a P6. And Dirk's going to have to go again. Lennart already going for another faster attempt at a flying lap. He's already 0.5 up in Sector 2. So he feels he can do better. Maybe he's got a lot of fuel on board to go for several flying laps. Manages to keep control of the car on the exit of 17. Across the line, 124.5, my mistake. Pookie does not improve. Ivan is coming into the pits. He was improving, but it may not have been enough to even overtake Faco. Dirk still has not set a lap time for some reason. I could swear that was not an invalidation. Cringe is coming into the pits. Okay, I missed it. Dirk did invalidate. And Faco was on a cooldown lap, so he won't be improving. Ben Dixon improved as well. He went to 125.555. That's a rather satisfying number. I think Dennis had another spin on the exit of 17. Where's Lennart? Lennart is down as previous time, and Simon is coming out. And in the moments I was looking away from Dirk, he's already invalidated. So, yeah, he's probably gonna have to come in for a new set of inters and try again. Faco slightly up in Sector 1. And he's invalidated. So he'll probably come into the pits for new tyres. Then Dixon going around the final corners is sounding a bit slow, and I don't think that's going to be the best time. Nope, he's 6/10 down. Fako's going for another attempt, whilst Simon starts his first attempt. Cringe is just invalidated, but he's on an outlap, so that's fine. Dirk has gone 30.9. Let's look at the age of his tyres. 3 laps old. So they won't be displacing as much water as fresh tyres. But the important thing is to get the time on the board. And it's looking like he's going to do that. Apparently, he went purple in the second sector. He's keeping it together. He's finally going to set a lap time here. Keeping it under control. Ooh, almost lost it. And he's gone P7, 125.791. Almost the curse of the commentator there. But Dixon will be next, but he's invalidated. Who will be next then? Fako has gone 0.2 quicker than his previous best in Sector 2. Heading into 17.80. No, he's going to pit. Maybe he's run out. He's not got enough fuel for another run. Simon will be next, and he comes across the line, goes third fastest to overtake Fako, but only just. That's the surprise of the weekend. Simon's not really been that close to the front. And apparently, no, I think Dennis is being a bit presumptuous. It's still raining. I don't think it's going to be dry enough for dry tyres. Leonard on an outlap. I would, on fresh softs. Not softs, inters, my mistake. Behind him is Pookie, also on fresh inters. And behind him is Dirk, who I think will be pitting. He's not got a lot of time to get out there. No, he's going again. And his inters are complaining. Den Boomer's icon is really irritating me. Oh, there's a spin. Leonard's had a moment out of turn 3. But he's got plenty of time to get round and start another lap. Cringe coming in. Simon possibly coming in. Den Boomer coming out on inters. Fako gonna potentially try the soft tyre strategy, but it's too early. Yeah, he's coming out on softs. I think he's not gonna go too far here. I think he's throwing away his position. Ivan going for another lap. He's gonna have at least 2 more attempts here. He's passing Fako, who I think is already discovering that he's on the wrong tyre. Pookie's 0.2 seconds up in Sector 2. He comes across the line, but he's lost time. DRS has been enabled, so maybe I'm getting a bit of a graphic bug here. DRS enabled, even though the track is still visibly wet. Oh, has Leonard crashed? No, he's in the pit lane. He thinks that's the best he can do, and he may. No, he won't have the time to get out for another lap here. So Fako and Cringe are on soft tyres. Ben Dixon is going for another lap on the inters. And Cringe has overcooked it. So he's he's on an out lap actually. So he's going to try and skim through the lap as fast as he can. Fako's also on his out lap. Ivan is 0.23 up in Sector 2. This could put him into provisional pole position here, depending on how the soft tyre runners do. Across the line, and he's lost time through the final sector again. Ivan will not get provisional pole here. And Pookie's cutting across the track as well to get around to start another lap. No, he's going to come into the pits. Cringe has stopped already? What? Dirk is not going to get another lap in. So Cringe has somehow not completed a lap time. That's weird, because... Yeah, that's weird. It said he finished, even though he didn't go across the line. That's weird. Ben Dixon will be next. The track is actually looking drier now. Improves, but not enough. His position isn't improved, and Dim Boomer probably wishing he stayed on those softs, but he's 5/10 up in sector 2. So this should put him above Dirk, who did not change onto fresh tyres. And yes, he goes P6, pushes Dirk, Ben Dixon and Cringe down one position in each. And yeah, it did definitely bug out for Cringe, as Faco goes fastest, 1:19.3, and I'm not certain what's going on here. It looks like Cringe might still be driving. I'm very confused as to what's happened there. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. I've never seen that before. It says Cringe didn't use any tyres. What was he on? Fucking the hovercraft? So yeah, that's a bug and a half, isn't it? Having all the bugs today. So Faco manages to get pole position on the soft tyres, 1:19.3. That's over 5 seconds faster than Leonard managed on the Inters. Oop. Don't kick the desk. And so we move on to a very dry Mexico City circuit now. Very, very dry. Completely opposite conditions from qualifying. Got Polish flags flying in the grandstands. You'd think Kubica was still racing. I mean, I suppose in a way he is. He's a reserve driver for Alfa Romeo. And so, Faco has pole position, Leonard P2, Ivan P3, Pookie P4, Simon P5, Dambuma P6, Ben Dixon P7, Cringe P8, Dirk P9, Kane an illegitimate P10, Dan Edwin P11, Julian P12, Bacteri Bottas P13, Ulipat P14, Hyper P15, Laxa P16, Jakob P17, and Mokrain joining late in P18. And the Alfa Romeo will have to see what he can do as he joins Tier 1 again for the first time in a few races. What tyres are people running? There's mostly soft runners, but Leonard, Ivan, Pookie, Simon, Ben Dixon, Cringe, Kane, and Hyper are running mediums. Everyone else are running softs. Bring up the telemetry and lap data again. And so the AI takes control of the cars. Everyone feeding into position. The stunning Alpine will take pole position just ahead of the slightly less stunning Aston Martin and the significantly less stunning Red Bull. Ukraine, the final car on the grid, right behind Jakob. The Mexico City Grand Prix about to get underway. Five lights. Held for a very long time. It's lights out and away we go. And absolutely dumping the ERS. I think Faco's not had a very good launch once again. It's gonna be Leonard neck and neck down towards turn one. Leonard's gonna have the inside into turn one. But it's got this slight amount of contact. And Faco is able to hold on with his soft tyres. There's already position changes down the field. We'll have to pick those up. And there's Yulipat down 3 places already. Dan Boomer up at 2 places into P4. Kane already up in 3 places into P7, as is Julian 3 places up. Jakob and Hyper up a few places. Yulipat now down into 4th, into 18th and last, and Leonard struggling on those medium tyres. He's already losing ground to the soft-shod Alpine of Faco. And, oh, there's been an incident. That's Jakob. He's gone around at a turn, something rather, and there's a virtual safety car. Oh, Laxer has retired. There's been a crash. Formula Cringe has lost his front wing. And Laxer has crashed on the exit of, something. I can't remember what turn number that is. 15, 14, 13 I'm going to call it. So, yes, it's a disastrous race for Formula Cringe. Yulipat is also pitting. It's going to allow Jakob to get past. And there's going to be front wing changes for both Yulipat and Formula Cringe. And this is going to allow Leonard the ability to, well, basically keep up with Faco, as he was losing a stunning amount of ground on the first lap. His medium tyres obviously not holding on as well as the softs. Softs are obviously the grippier tyre, but they won't last as long. We'll have to see how long those softs will take Faco. Definitely a shorter amount of time than Leonard's mediums will. What are the tyres? The Yulipat and Formula Cringe have gone on to mediums. Dan Edwin has improved 1 position into the top 10 position he deserved at the start, but he's not done as well as Kane did, who got a mega start. He's up 3 positions into P7. Also up 3 positions are Julian and Hyper, and Mokraine is up 4. Meanwhile, in the opposite directions, Pookie, Ben Dixon, Dirk, Yulipat and Cringe have all lost a minimum of 1 position, mostly 2, but Cringe has lost 9. Started in 6th. He's now down in the lowly position of P17 and last on track after Laxer had a crash. As the field's catching up, the safety car will more than likely be in this lap. Will allow everyone to potentially get back ahead, gain positions. Leonard absolutely looking for another win, as he is 2 points behind the Faco in the championship. He's looking for that second championship. But Faco is looking for his first, and he is on absolutely imperious form at this stage of the season. Go through the S's now. The Mercedes AMG GTR safety car leading the field, leading the pack through the S's, and if it's not in this lap, I will be rather surprised. And there we go, safety car in this lap. Alpine, from Aston Martin, from Red Bull, from McLaren. That's the top four. And what can they do? There's a bit of a gap between Leonard and Ivan, as Faco is playing a bit of chasey, catchy, kissy with the safety car. Field bunching up now. Faco's got... Oh, there's been a collision. That's going to be a bit of a rubbish collision. Oh, and it looks like Ivan's going to get Leonard off the line. Leonard's being caught out by Faco, and it's a straight drag race between positions 2 and 3 in the championship. Ivan's going to get the inside line. Is the outside line going to work, though? Ivan is going to take the position 2 from Leonard, and he backs him up. That's a mega start from Ivan. Restart, even. But he's used up a lot of ERS. He's used up 20% more. And now Ivan is 1.6, almost 1.7 seconds behind Faco. There's been another spin. That's Julian. No, he's not had a spin. I don't think. He's just had a bit of a spin. Not spin, whatever. And Faco is absolutely flying. He's already 2.2 seconds ahead of Ivan, who is, meanwhile, a bit of the cork in the bottle. He got the restart on Leonard here, but he doesn't have the pace to keep ahead, to really pull away. He's only 3/10 ahead, 4/10 maybe. And there's going to be a slipstream. Den Boomer is also fighting here, dumping the ERS. And Leonard is gonna look up the inside into turn 1. Den Boomer's got a front row seat here, but Leonard has a bit of a moment on the turn 1, and he has to stay behind Ivan for now. And Den Boomer on the soft tires is gonna have another look, but I don't think he's gonna be able to hold it as Ivan defends the inside line from Leonard. That compromises his line into turn 5. And Leonard's having another look. He's got the inside of turn 6. And Leonard's... Oh no, he has a moment again. His tyres are not answering are not giving him the grip he wants. And that's given Den Boomer P3. The soft shot McLaren is now ahead of the guy who started in P2. And now Pookie is having a look at Leonard as well. Leonard's medium's not doing so well. Maybe he's had a bit of a setup mishap here. And Faco is now 4.5 seconds ahead of Ivan. This is like a real-life replay of the Mexican Grand Prix. And Den Boomer is getting past the Red Bull of Ivan, and now he finds himself in the lofty position of position 2. But he's used up a lot of his ERS to do that. ERS that he simply can't... You can't really afford to lose at this stage of the Grand Prix. And Ivan potentially in danger of being overtaken by Leonard. Ivan not got the pace. Leonard has to hold off for now. And I think he's possibly going to make another move into turn 6. The field really bunched up here. And no, he's not going to be able to make the move out of turn 6. I think he's learned his Lennon. That's a beetle, I think you'll find. Lesson is the word I was looking for. Oh, and Hype has picked up a 3-second penalty. He's up into P11. Mockrane up into P13. DRS is now activated, but Ivan will have had that as well. But Ivan is not going to get it from Den Boomer, who is now just over a second ahead. And Ivan, I don't think he's going to keep on hold of P3 here. ERS usage, the DRS zone right here, and Ivan is just a sitting duck. The Red Bull not so charging anymore. Charging Bull as Kane is making a move on Pookie. And Kane, who started in an illegitimate P10, ooh, Pookie in the Mercedes cuts him off, closes that door, and Kane's just got to wait a little bit longer. And that's possibly giving Dan Edwin a look, the ability to have a look. But not on this occasion. Ooh, that was very, very close. And Den Boomer has actually picked up a penalty. I'm going to have to take a look at what that penalty is. That's a 3-second penalty. So that's a penalty he can ill afford. And he's even though he's on the soft tyres, he's not finding the same pace that Faco was. And that's because his tyres are quite old now. And they're not going to be as... well, in such a good condition as Lennart's mediums. And in fact, I think Lennart is starting to gradually reel him in. Oh, there was a brief moment there. Is Lennart going to get the DRS? And the DRS zone... yes, he is getting the DRS. So I have to see. Meanwhile, Ivan also has the DRS... bit of a DRS train forming here. Meanwhile, Dan Edwin... no, that's Simon, who's lost 4 positions. It's down in P9. Was trying to make... oh, he's gone wide. And that's allowed Dirk and Hyper to get past. Also, there's Kane's had an incident as well. So Kane has now fallen down the pack to basically dead last. And that's given Pookie some breathing room, who was under threat from the AlphaTauri, who now is out of the points for the time being. And Lennart is gradually reeling that McLaren in. Den Boomer simply doesn't have the pace to catch up to Faco. He's losing time. 5.4 seconds is what I read just for a moment there. And less than 0.8 of a second between Den Boomer and Lennart, though Den Boomer's softs still giving him the traction out of turn 18. And he's got enough time, enough position space between him and the Aston Martin for the time being. Meanwhile, Ben Dixon having a look on Dan Edwin. And they'll get another chance down the second straight here. The Ferrari driver DRS opens. But it's not going to be a long enough straight, I don't think. And he's got to hold off on attacking for now. Dirk goes wide. Simon, meanwhile, down in P11. He's lost even more time. And Pookie picks up a 3-second time penalty, as does Hyper, who's picked as another penalty. And Lennart has closed the gap to Den Boomer even more. There's a yellow flag. There's Alpine that's gone round. That's Bactry Bottas. As Cringe also picks up a penalty. I think this is going to be penalty central. And Lennart has managed to keep the grip through turn 18. He's got the DRS. Will he be able to make the move? He's used up some ERS. And Den Boomer, as I said it, man, he'd used up too much ERS early on, and he just didn't have enough to fight back with. And that's allowed Lennart to get back up into P2 when we've got a virtual safety car. I think that's because there's been possibly, yep, there's been crash damage. Jakub has lost his front wing. So this will neutralize the field for now. And it's a position that I think Kane would have wanted to be able to pit for, get some fresh tyres on, because I think his current tyres will be a bit flat. flat spotted. But it's what was looking like a very good first half of the race for Kane has turned into a nightmare. He has at least managed to get past. Well, I think that's because they pit. Yeah. So he's up into P14 by virtue of cars ahead of him pitting. Faco leads 6.4 seconds ahead as the VSC ends. And Lennart, I think, has been caught out once again. Den Boomer has managed to pick up a lot of ERS. Lennart defends aggressively. He weaves, trying to break the slipstream, and Den Boomer didn't take advantage of that. He didn't try to keep it. Lennart tried to break it again, and I think it may have worked here. Den Boomer did not follow him, did not keep with the slipstream, but he's going to get another chance down the second straight. DRS opens. The soft tyres obviously holding on longer than I thought they would. But he's not going to be able to attack for now. Ivan, meanwhile, is under threat from Pookie behind. What are the tyres that they are wearing? All mediums for Ivan and Pookie. Meanwhile, Faco, Den Boomer, Dirk, Mokrain, Dan Edwin has pit for soft tyres. So he's down the field a bit as Unipat picks up another penalty. And Ivan has actually managed to catch up to Den Boomer somewhat. I think Den Boomer's starting to feel the pain. The soft tyres are not holding on as so well, and Lennart, I think, has managed to close the gap a bit. In fact, yes, he has. There's a second closer. Faco is not losing pace, I think. Den Boomer is once again within DRS as Dirk is pitting as well. The first of the Aston Martins. Den Boomer having a look, but he's not going to be able to take the opportunity to pass just yet. But he gets onto the DRS again, but this straight is just not long enough, and he's having to hold off again. So I have to contend with the dirty air as Jakub sets the fastest lap, 1:17.7. That had not been broken since the first real racing lap of the Grand Prix, when the safety car ended. Lennart only really managing to keep the gap between him and Faco at the status quo. And Lennart is now the cork in the bottle of the DRS train here. Meanwhile, down the field, Simon is taking a look on his teammate into the stadium section. And I don't think Cringe is going to be able to hold on to his position here. His teammate is finding his feet again after falling down the field to a minimum of P11. And Faco has pit, so he will be flying on new tyres. We'll have to see what Lennart does, as Simon in the slipstream of his teammate. Dan Edwin sets the fastest lap. Ooh, side by side for the Williams duo. Cringe is defending really hard and is holding off his teammate for now. Lennart picks up a time penalty as well, though Faco has not. So Lennart has disadvantaged himself here. And what will Lennart do? He's using a lot of ERS. He's trying to keep Den Boomer behind. Will he pit or will he stay out? And logic dictates that he would stay out on the mediums, but Cringe is going to be flying on his new tyres, which are mediums. No, softs. He's doing a two-stop strategy, so he will have to stop again. So Lennart holding on to the lead for now. And will Faco's two-stop strategy pay off here? Or race with him for now. He's right behind Julipat, but there's a bit of a
DRS train here as Simon does get past his teammate here. So Simon has finally got past Cringe on the main straight. He's going to get the DRS again as Cringe had a bit of a moment. Yulipat, he's got a major launch out of turn 3. And he gets past Yulipat by virtue of all the traction alone. He has to cut very narrow on that corner as he's fighting with Cringe. Cringe defending for all he's worth, but the soft tyres just so much more grippy than the mediums on Cringe's Williams. And he's got past 2 cars in the space of a single lap. And he doesn't have a time penalty to show for it. So Faco's strategy here could pay off. Dan Edwin picks up a penalty as well. Dirk picks up a penalty. Everyone's picking penalties. Seems that the only people who haven't picked up penalties so far are Simon, Faco, Kane, Ivan, and no, not Pookie. I cannot think Pookie. I don't know. Once again, the traction of the soft tyres allows Faco to get past Simon before the DRS zone. So Faco absolutely flying. Pookie does have a penalty. So yeah, only Ivan, Faco, Simon and Kane do not have penalties. And this Alpine might as well be in another class. It might as well be Formula 0.75. And Lennart has managed to gain a 1.2 second gap on Den Boomer. I think Den Boomer has had the rather shoddy second sector here, and that's put him under threat from Ivan as Simon picks up a 3-second penalty. Speak of the devil. And yeah, Den Boomer's tyres definitely falling off the proverbial cliff. No, oh, Lennart is pitting though. So this is, Lennart has decided he's not gonna keep out there for much longer. So Ivan is gonna be promoted into the race lead here, and yeah, he gets past the McLaren like it's no challenge at all, as Faco sets the fastest lap of the race, 117.1 exactly. Whereas Lennart gonna come out, he's already behind Faco. He stayed out for way too long, and he's now under threat from Dan Edwin. And Lennart running with the one-stop strategy here. He's on the hard tyres. He knows that Faco is on the softs, more than likely, and that Faco's gonna have to stop again. But that will mean that Faco will be really quick towards the tail end of this race. Up ahead, Faco is catching up to Hyper. Less than 0.6 of a second. The grip is allowing him to catch up, even in the S section. Oh no, that's not saying he has to pit, that's just saying that the pit box is full. And he's already below 0.4, so Hyper is not going to be able to hold on to P3 here, as Ivan picks up a 3-second penalty as he pits, as does Den Boomer. And this is going to Hyper pits as well. So this promotes Faco back up into the lead of the race. And he's got one heck of a gap between him and his nearest challenger, Lennart. Oh my god, the field is changing a lot. Nearest challenger is actually Cringe, but Cringe is not challenging for the win here. Cringe and Yulipat fighting. They're a bit of a, not really the main focus of the race here, as down the field Simon got past Hyper. I could see that on the field. I think Hyper did pit actually, on the grid even. And Kane right behind Ben Dixon. Has he pit? I think he has. He's made one stop. Gets the DRS on the Ferrari. Got a yellow flag, that's Battery Bottas, who's lost his front wing on his outlap, and he's going to have to pit again for new tyres and a new front wing. It's a disaster for Battery. And his teammate Faco is right behind. He's going to be the first driver to be lapped in this race. Pookie, I think, is still in his original tyres. I don't... No, he's not. He's on fresh soft tyres, so he's running two-stop as well, I think. So Pookie has effectively jumped Leonard for P2 here. He's running effectively, yeah, P2. But he will have to stop again, as will Faco. However, what is running in Faco's favour is that he doesn't have any penalties. And is that possibly fuel problems for Leonard? Oh, we've got virtual safety car. I didn't notice that. What's going on? Dirk has pit. I think Dirk may have had an incident. He's down 6 positions. Oh, and Ulipat's picked up a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. The VSC. And at this rate, I don't think anything can challenge Faco for the race victory here. Hyper, meanwhile, looking to try and get back past Simon. Or is it back past, or just get past him in the first place? I'm not certain. Jakob, meanwhile, is 10 positions up in P7, having a pretty decent race, but there are lots of penalties through the field. Mockring picks up another one. Cringe is 6 seconds worth, 3 seconds worth from positions 3 to 8. Hyper has 6 seconds worth. Ulipat has a drive-through, as well as time penalties. Kane's a 3-second penalty. Dan Edwin is 6 seconds. Ockrane 9. Dirk 8. Julian 11 seconds of penalties. And this is Jakob being passed by Simon. And the Ferrari definitely showing a bit of a lack of pace, and he's going to get passed by Hyper as well. Oh, very, very close here. And nope, Hyper hits the sausage curb, and he's lost out there. So he's made a mistake and been partially spun. Meanwhile, up the field, Pookie gaining... Oh, what's the word? Just gaining so much on Cringe, who has a bit of a moment, and he's able to get past. Pookie's there was some excellent avoiding action. Not that word? Reactions. Reflex. That's the word. Reflex action, managing to keep him out of the rear end of that Williams. Meanwhile, Den Boomer on his soft tyres, looking to get past Ivan. And I think he's not going to be challenged much here. And indeed, Den Boomer gets past the Red Bull as Simon sets the fastest lap of the race. 1:17.054. Jakob, meanwhile, has just been passed by Hyper. I missed that. And he's, I think his tyres might be a little old. Yes, they are 9 laps old. So Jakob is going to have to pit again if he wants to reach the end of this race. Now, Ben Dixon is fighting for P11 here with Dan Edwin against Kane on hard tyres. But did Kane... Dan Edwin has a bit of a moment. I think Kane's got the fresher tyres here. No, Dan Edwin is actually on newer tyres. Kane's on harder tyres, though. So they will last a bit longer. And there's a moment up ahead. There's Ivan, who's managed to keep pace with Dan Edwin. Not Den Boomer, my mistake. That's Ivan looking to get back past the McLaren. He's got the DRS. He's not using the ERS, though. And he's not able to catch up as much as he probably would like, as Hyper sets the fastest lap now. And Dan Edwin is within DRS range of Kane, and he's catching up very... not that quickly, but he's could make it a pass attempt. He does go up the inside. And that is Dan Edwin up into P10. Kane did not fight did not really fight at all. But Dan Edwin has used a lot of his ERS. Kane still has a a fair amount to play with, though not as much as he probably would like. So it's up to Kane to see how well he can keep up with the Red Bull. See if they can switch positions again. It's up to Dan Edwin, though, to pull ahead of the AlphaTauri and try and catch up to Jakob, who is on those very old soft tyres. Dembuma, meanwhile, has caught up to Formula Cringe. And Cringe's tyres have definitely fallen off the cliff. But Cringe, I think, is going for the alternate strategy. He's going to pit late for soft tyres, more than likely. And he will be flying. There's a Ferrari in the pits. That's a Jakob pitting for fresh rubber. That should be for medium tyres, I would imagine. Down the field. What's going on here? Dan Edwin is ahead of Kane, but Kane has the DRS. He was able to hold on to Dan Edwin. And Ivan has caught up to Cringe here now. He simply hasn't had the pace, the pace to answer to Dembuma. And I think he's been trapped behind the Williams for most of this lap. That will be rather frustrating. I can feel the frustration. You can almost hear Sebastian Vettel singing blue flag, except there is no blue flags to be seen as he was racing him. And Cringe has come into the pits now. And I imagine that this will be for soft tyres. And yes, indeed it is. No issues with the stop. As to be expected, Cringe now down to P10. But he will be under threat from Dirk. Dan Edwin has been passed again by Kane. Who's got the DRS? I think that will be Kane with the DRS. Yes, indeed. Kane got past Dan Edwin on the main straight. And Dan Edwin did not have the best chicane there. So now Dan Edwin has to try and get back past the AlphaTauri. They're fighting for P8 here now. Dan Edwin has just picked up another penalty as well. So what's the penalties like now? Ooh. Yeah. Faco has actually picked up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So he... Oh, that's not gone well for Faco. So he's put on medium tyres now. That's his two-stop strategy complete. And he does come out behind Lennart, who is promoted up into P2. Pookie is in P1 now. But he will have to stop again, as he is on soft tyres. He started the race on softs, I think, and will have to pit again. Lennart 3.3 seconds behind. What can Lennart do on his hard tyres? Currently, he's still 3.3 seconds behind Pookie. The soft tyres still running well for the Mercedes. And Simon, what's his tyres like? 1 lap older than the Mercedes in front, but he's making some good inroads on the... Oh, as I said, that I jinxed him. He's fallen back a little bit. Not too much, though. He got the DRS help. So he's managed to catch back up. He's within 6/10 of Hyper's Mercedes. And what can Faco do? He is already certain. He's not going as fast as you probably would have liked. There's 4 seconds separating him and the car in front, which is Ivan on 7-lap-old hard tyres. But I can't imagine that he'll stay that far behind for long. In fact, he's already gained 2/10. He's just got to warm them up, and he's already 3.6 seconds behind Ivan now. Oh, and there's a bit of a contact behind. Hyper has had a bit of a snap of oversteer on the exit of turn 3. He slammed into the wall, but it looks like he's got off with that scot-free. He's got no damage that I can see on that car. But he has lost the position to Simon. Got a sector 3. Mockrane has retired in the pit lane, as you should do.
Tim 140, take notes.
And the field's starting to get a bit spread out. Dan Edwin did get back past Kane, but Kane has still managed to keep pace. But Dan Edwin picks up another penalty. He's going to have about 12 seconds worth of penalties, I think. And that's all Kane will need. There's only one driver on the field who hasn't picked up a penalty now, and that is Ben Dixon. His Formula Cringe sets the fastest lap. There's a 1:16.1. Kane making serious inroads in the Red Bull. He absolutely flies past. He was using the ERS as well as the DRS. He wanted to get back past the Red Bull. Oh, and Hyper's had it. Oh, Hyper has... Hyper decides to retire. In fact, no, I think Hyper... No, he has retired. I don't know why. His car is still moving. So, not certain what's gone on there. I think he had enough. He conked the wall and he wasn't happy. He tried to retire inside the pit lane, and his car has decided to keep going. Pookie finally coming into the pits for his second and final stop. This promotes Lennart up into the lead, and now it's up to Lennart to hold on for another 9 laps. What? How well can he do? Faco is in P4. How far is he behind in terms of the leader? He is only 5.6 seconds behind Lennart. I can't really see any way that Lennart could really hold on to P1 here. What are the penalties like, though? Faco has a 5-second penalty. Lennart has a 3-second penalty. So if they finished neck and neck, Faco would come off second best. There's been an incident. Jakob has crashed in position in turn 17, and this could work very well for Lennart. But Lennart is only, as I said, about 5.5 seconds ahead of Faco. Will he pit? I think he will. He is on rather worn hards. He'll lose P1, but he should have enough space. He will be right behind Faco. Will he come in? Yes, he is coming in. Lennart playing the tactical move. He'll have fresher tyres. I think he'll go onto softs here. And yes, indeed he is. He will be absolutely flying. Faco is also pitting. He's picked up another 5-second penalty. He was responding to Lennart, and he's messed things up absolutely catastrophically. And that's... Oh, he has to serve his previous 5-second penalty. That has not worked out well for the Alpine driver. We've got camera glitches. And now he's going to be behind Ivan. And this has potentially played into Lennart's hands perfectly. Faco has made the same error speeding in the pit lane. That's why he served a 5-second penalty there. And he's picked up another one. He didn't even really have to pit. He was on medium tyres, but he wanted to respond, and it's just, he's messed things up. So he has to hope that Lennart picks up another penalty now. What are the tyres like? Pookie also pit. He pit the previous lap, didn't he? I think. So Leonard is effectively racing for the against Pookie here. Everyone is on soft tyres, but Cringe is on 4-lap-old softs. Julian is on 2-lap-old softs. He will have the opportunity to catch up, but it's going to be a little while, as Julian is only just entered Sector 2. He's down in turn 6. 6 or 7. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, turn 6 that was. He's entering turn 7 now. He's going through the S's. Whilst everyone else, most of everyone else is on the main straight. So Pookie has 1 lap older tyres than Leonard, but they haven't done that much racing. So they are effectively fresh tyres. And we'll have to see what Leonard can do. Julian on the main straight now. 18 seconds behind Dirk. But 28 seconds behind Pookie. Obviously that is rapidly falling. He's now 24 seconds behind Pookie. Safety car isn't, of course, a single-seat monster like a Formula 1 car. Going as fast as it can feels sluggish for a Formula 1 car. Remember, all the various drivers ask you the safety car to speed up when it's going as fast as it can without spinning. Julian has just caught up that the safety car may come in this lap. And yes, indeed it is. Pookie will lead the field away on the safety car restart of lap 30. We're on lap 29, obviously, but lap 30 will be the first racing lap. Everyone is on soft tyres. Mostly absolutely fresh. Pookie goes now, and I think he's managed to catch Leonard out. Leonard has not had the best restart here. And he's dumping his ERS. But he has got the slipstream. Cringe is making a move on Leonard. He's going to have the inside to turn 1. He's making it his mission, but he's not quite got the same grip that Leonard has. No, he's going to get past. And Leonard's gone wide. Leonard has gone wide out of turn 3. He's now behind Ivan, and Cringe is up into P2 here. But he's being fought back by Den Boomer. And Cringe's tyres just aren't in the same state. And he's now going to be the cork in the bottle. This is allowing Pookie to race away with the race lead here. This is not a scenario I saw coming at all. Pookie leading the race. And potentially on course for a victory here, but what are the penalties like? That's absolutely crucial to know. The penalties. Pookie has 6 seconds worth of penalties. This could actually play into Ivan's hands, because everyone ahead of him has 6 seconds of penalties, and Ivan only has 3. This could be Ivan and Leonard running P1 and 2 at the finish. That could be how things effectively are. Pookie has to try and gain as much time as he can. And Cringe is holding everyone up. And Den Boomer with no DRS, Den Boomer is finding a real struggle to get past Cringe. They are on the same compounded tyres. Cringe's tyres are older, but they're obviously not old enough. He's still got plenty of grip in that Williams. And this is just allowing Pookie to gain so much time. He's already 2.5 seconds up on Cringe. And Leonard has just got past Ivan. Oh no, he's not. He's fighting Ivan into turn 15, into the stadium section. Is he going to squeeze Ivan out? Oh, this is so close. And no, he's going to have to relinquish that position back to Ivan. He's got to hold off for now. And I think Cringe has had a bit of an incident here. And Den Boomer manages to get past, but he's used up so much of his energy. And Cringe slots back into the slipstream. He's going to get back ahead. And he uses his ERS as well. And he gets back into P2 on track here. And Leonard has had an incident. He's down behind Faco. He's had a mistake or something. And Faco is up into P4. And Leonard's down into P7. He's being fought back by Simon. This is an incredible final 6 laps to the race. And Faco could still be on for the race victory here. Potentially. I see he's caught up to Den Boomer now. Right behind the McLaren. Bit of dirty air. The DRS opens. Cringe obviously doesn't have the DRS. And this could be Cringe losing 2 positions in the course of a single straight. Leonard down in P7. He's had a nightmare restart. Things have not gone well for the Season 1 champion. Cringe trying to break the slipstream. But it's not going to be enough. Den Boomer is going to have the get past, as is Cringe. But could Faco make a move on Den Boomer here? It's possible. Den Boomer has less than 10% battery. Faco has a little bit more to play with, but not much. He's got the DRS, but Den Boomer still has that. And Faco, nope, he's not. He doesn't make the move. As Ivan fighting with Cringe now, and he has to go off track to make the move. Yes, he's gonna get past, I think. And Cringe has lost the podium positions, and now he's losing another position to his teammate, no less. So Cringe could have been on for a mega result here. He ruined Leonard's race, who is now down in P9. But he won't finish there. Dan Edwin has 15 seconds of penalties, as Julian has had a mistake. He's had a crash or something. No, he's just had a spin. There's no damage to the car. And Pookie is now 4.5 seconds ahead of Den Boomer. Cringe unintentionally has given Pookie a potential race victory here. But it's up to Faco, who's getting past Den Boomer now. He's got so much more pace than the McLaren driver, and this could still be a victory for Faco, as Dan Edwin has had a mistake too through this chicane, and he finds himself out of the points. Leonard has got back up into P8 because of that. But yeah, with this track, it's not easy to overtake on. Leonard absolutely desperate to get ahead of Kane. He's going to get the DRS, but so is Kane, as is Simon, who's not been able to make the move on Cringe just yet. But Cringe has been holding up everyone. He's been the locomotive in the DRS train. He won't get the DRS. There's possibly a bit of contact there, as Julian has had a crash. There won't be a safety car, more than likely. It's too late in the race. It's impossible to have the safety car the race finish under the safety car, as Cringe faces a double overtake by both his teammate and Kane. And he is fighting back. He managed to squeeze Kane to the inside. Penultimate lap here. Leonard using as much, all of his ERS. He's got nothing to play with here. He is so desperate. This is going to take a huge hit in the Drivers' Championship here. And Faco has not been able to catch up to Pookie here. Oh, and there's a bit of contact between Kane and Leonard. Kane going so slowly and Leonard so desperate to get past. And Leonard does get past the AlphaTauri, and now he's going to be desperate to get past Cringe, the man who stole his position on the restart. And I think with Cringe's tyres are going to be so old, neither driver has a lot of ERS. They're using all of it. But Leonard just has so much more pace. Cringe is going to lose P6 here. It's a race now of damage limitation for Leonard to finish as high up the field as he can. I think he will also get at least P5 as Simon ahead has a 6-second penalty. And it's Pookie leading the way with 6 seconds of penalties. 4.5 seconds behind him is Faco, but Faco has 5 seconds of penalties. And it could be that Faco picks up the race victory here, potentially. Loads of everyone on the field has at least 1 penalty. Pookie coming through the stadium section now. He's lost 2/10 to Faco behind as Cringe has had a crash. Cringe, after all that defending, has ended his race on the final lap. Pookie comes across the line to take victory on the road, but where is Faco going to finish with the penalties? Faco does not finish in P2. He finishes P3. Ivan takes P2 and gains a bit of ground in the championship, and Leonard does manage to finish in P4 with the penalties. Kane finishes an excellent P5. This race has been one decided by the penalties. It is Pookie taking another race victory this season, his 3rd of the season, and the most unexpected. This was a result I did not see coming. I thought this was going to be between Faco and Leonard. Instead, only one of them has finished on the podium. And it was Faco. Leonard just behind. Faco, the gap between the top 2 in the championship will now be 5 points. Unless who got the fastest lap. Who got that? Fastest lap was Cringe, which means there won't be anyone picking up a point for fastest lap here. So Pookie wins the race. Ivan will finish in P2. He gains a bit of ground, but it's not much. Faco finishes P3. Leonard will finish P4. And as I said, 5 points in the championship between them now. Kane goes from 10th to P5. Simon will finish P6, 1 place lower than he started, as will Den Boomer, 1 place lower than he started, as will Ben Dixon. Dirk, meanwhile, finishes the race where he started, and Ulipat finishes the race in 10th after starting in 14th. Dan Edwin is the last man to actually finish the race, and he finishes the race in his starting position. Yeah. Poor old Dan Edwin. He was on for a good result there, and things did not go his way. So, what a race. One I did not expect, really. But that's been season 3 for you. It's been like the real life season almost. You never know what to expect.
What a race. Who is Acadian?
Who is that? I don't know that. Who is that? I don't recognise that name. I'm losing my voice. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys. That was It was at least a half decent race,
At the very least.
We'll catch you next week for. It is. Oh, which race is next? Calendar. It should be Imola next. So, Imola will be the next race, more than likely, on December 8th. Saudi Arabia will be the next race after that. And Portugal was originally going to be the final race of the season. But it will, I don't know, maybe it will be Austria, or maybe since Collins disappeared, maybe Austria will not be the final race of the season. I don't know. Hard to tell. Anyway, thank you for watching, everyone. It's been a night. I'll catch you next week for more Tier 1 action at Imola.
Once again, thank you for watching and good night.